Hey, how do you guys do? It's Alsooooo. I hope you're all having a great day. I'm going to present an unbiased and accurate list of the best Roblox games of all time. And you can't say I'm wrong, because I'm simply not. And a quick disclaimer, I will not be mentioning Grow Garden or Steal a Brainrot, so if you're hoping that they would be on the list, then please click off the video and don't come back. Also real quick, if you're not subscribed, please do so. We are very close to hitting 100,000 subs, so let's make that happen this week. Now these games aren't influenced by the nostalgia from me and others, they were genuinely just fun and creative games. Before I start, let's shout out some honorable mentions. I'll give it to Doors and Blox Fruits. Both are fun and vast in their own way. Also, I spent 100+ hours and hundreds of Robux on Blox Fruits, so I'm entitled to say that. Okay, starting off the list is the normal elevator. If you have never played this, I'm so sorry. This is when the It's Raining Tacos song was off the charts. And though all you really do in this game is, well, stand in an elevator, they captured the last bit of MLG and dank memes before it got bad. Next up is Jailbreak and Prison Life. Personally, I was a big sucker for Jailbreak. I had it down as a criminal. I knew all the ways around the map. I will admit, I spent some Robux on it too, but my skills make up for it. I have played Prison Life maybe a couple times when I was younger, but I'm not going to disregard the impact they had and the vast amount of people that played it. Of course, I'm going to mention Murder Mystery. The game is now just utter garbage. It's full of hackers and toxic teamers, but back then when people didn't take it seriously, it was a pretty fun game. I know the first Murder Mystery didn't last too long, but the initial couple years when Murder Mystery 2 came out, I remember it consistently being the top played game. And it was fun trying to collect different knives from those mystery boxes. And bro, it was so stressful if you got sheriff. That's worse than being like a normal person, I swear. Fourth game on the list, I'm gonna give it to Natural Disaster Survival. My favorite thing about this game is that even 10 years later, they didn't change anything about it. Well, most things. The maps are still the same, the balloon and apple are still really the only purchases you can make in this game, and when I play it, everyone else is, pretty chatty and fun. My only problem is that the disasters are still garbage. They're very easy to survive in most cases, especially if you have the balloon and apple, but it's definitely a Roblox relic that still stands relevant. One thing that isn't relevant anymore is Roblox High School. I swear this game was the freakiest thing back then, and probably the start of e-dating on the platform. I remember playing this game on my old account with the shaggy hair and everything. James, 13, athletic, handsome. You guys remember that, right? If that doesn't ring a bell for any of you, then you missed out. Because Roblox High School, it was one of the most iconic role-playing games on Roblox. Also back then, low-key, everyone was super respectful to a certain degree. They weren't going hog wild on what's probably a 12-year-old's avatar. Here's another game that totally still stands. Work at a pizza place. I don't find this game very fun anymore because it has to do with a job, but the music and atmosphere is the most wholesome thing ever. I always chose the cashier role since it was the easiest.
And stuff. Then cook the pizza. Let's see where it goes. Uh-oh. Ow. Oh, hot. I'm burning. I'm burning!
And it was really cool visiting other people's houses on different servers. There was literally Roblox house parties happening. It was so fun. The game hasn't changed much except some obvious Robux items being added, but nothing was more rewarding than getting a paycheck in a Roblox game as a 13-year-old. Alright, to step it up a notch, I'm going to give the next medal to Apocalypse Rising. People don't realize how big this game was back then, and how it changed the course of the platform. When a detailed and actually fun shooter game entered the variety, people realized that you could make literally anything on Roblox. I played Apocalypse Rising 2, and never the original, but I have seen the game brought up in many online discussions when debating these best games. Speaking of my research, I initially made the mistake of asking ChatGPT for its opinion, and it gave me the worst list ever. When I asked it to do it better, it somehow did worse and put Off-Brand Valorant in the top 5. I was sort of satisfied with their last one because Phantom Forces was mentioned, and that was one of my brother and I's favorite shooter games just in general. Speaking of my brother, that leads us into Survive and Kill the Killers in Area 51. This game has a grasp on me because my little brother still plays it every once in a while. And that one song they play on repeat? It just takes me back. It also has all of those iconic characters from the era, like Sonic EXE, Slenderman, and some other classics. There are challenges you had to do to get certain guns. And, don't get mad guys, but I thought the ray gun was from this game. When I found out most of the mechanics were ripped off of Call of Duty, I had a huge life crisis. Alright, if I had to mention a tycoon in this list, I'm gonna have to give it to Clone Tycoon. It actively gives you something to do while you're waiting to stack your bread. My main problem with these new Roblox games is that they are trying to fabricate the retro era of Roblox by using some of the older designs and concepts. Grow Garden in particular tried to bottle up that old Roblox feel with their simplistic style, but of course it lacks the charm of it. Peep is awesome, made 2 great videos about this Roblox slop, you should definitely check it out. He also shouted me out on one of his videos, so obviously I'm going to shout out a small YouTube channel back. That's pretty much the extent of my list. I know things seemed way better back then when we grew up in that era, but I truly believe that it was just a peak time to be alive. I compare older Roblox to early Fortnite, when people are just trying to get the ropes of things and having fun, not taking it seriously as they should anyways. It's just a game. Now, bro, everyone is toxic and competitive. I can't do anything on either game without getting griefed by hackers or tryhards, witnessing the horrors of e-daters. By the way, to all the girls, your Roblox boyfriend is 31. I'm not even kidding. And the worst part, watching every game turn into a spend money simulator. As someone who has spent $400+ on Robux during my life, I hate in-game purchases with a passion. It is so easy for these games to convince little kids to grab their parents' credit cards and buy some stupid little pet to put on their avatar's shoulders. I would say this is probably the main downfall of Roblox. If there are any games I missed, which there probably are, let me know in the comments. Anyways, thanks for watching until the end. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Peace out.